Okay, we do be back with more. Please be happy in the last one. What happened in the last one? It's been over a week. It's been over a week. What happened? I don't remember. We played tennis with Lena. I think. I'm pretty sure. Let me push up my glasses. There we go. It should. Now my eyes should be bigger and wider and more full of joy. Okay. Yeah. Let's just jump into it. Once we finish eating breakfast, Juliet drums her fingers on the table, looking thoughtful.
It occurred to me that perhaps I should give you the proper tour of the library now.
That would probably help a little bit, yeah, so we actually know what we do and where we doing stuff at when we're doing stuff here. That was a struggle and a half to say that.
That way, you have the weekend to get better acquainted with it if you need.
Tour? I think I've seen everything, right?
Pardon. I meant of the books themselves. Where to find each genre and what they are.
Oh, right. Sure.
She looks so enthused. I hadn't really thought about the books. To me, they're all the same, but I guess that wouldn't be true for everyone else. Right now, I have the place memorized in the same way you'd memorize a battlefield. What places are out of sight, how to get in and out, and everything else that might be useful. I don't think there are many battles that happen in here, so Juliet's tour would probably be more helpful.
If you'd like, I can show you a couple of my favorite books.
I would love that, but Miho can't read.
That way, if anyone asks for a recommendation, you could at least make something up.
That's actually a pogger idea. Let's do that.
That'd be great.
Anything that makes it easier for me Anything that makes it easier for me to make things up is fine by me. I had to reread that sentence because I was like, that can't be what she's saying. And I was like, that is definitely what she's saying. All right. The three of us head to the entrance.
Let's start with the basics, shall we? As you know, this is the reference desk.
See.
It's where books are checked in and out, and where anyone who needs help can find it.
See.
What kind of help do people ask for?
Usually, they need assistance finding a specific book. Or perhaps they need a recommendation for what to read next, as Aspen mentioned.
Hope they like the same books as her then. Don't worry, I'll think of some that are more popular. Not my real favorites, which most people would be too bored to finish.
Oh, she's a book snob. Of course she is. Juliet leads us into the actual rows of shelves. I stare down the books as I pass by, committing as many details of memory as I can. Even if I can't read the words, I can try to remember the colors and shapes and covers.
Over here is the children's section. It's got lots of picture books and beginner reader books.
Aspen, Juliet, offer to teach Miho how to read. That'd be nice and cute.
The shelves are shorter too, so that children can reach them more easily.
If this is all the children's section, I think they're gonna have a hard time reaching the books that are in the ceiling. Or a row down from the ceiling, but you know what, that's just me.
Oh, I've seen some of those around. Are adults allowed to read them too?
No, only children. Adults are executed on sight if seen with one of these books.
Of course. Parents read to their kids quite often.
Some people read them for fun, too. You gain so much more appreciation for the illustrations once you're older.
Absolutely true. Gosh, I love, I know I talk about this all the time, but I just love, the painting, how it's all painted. At least it looks like it's a painting. Even if it's, digital painting, not to describe... I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say here. It's really hard for me sometimes, as you can tell. I'm not exactly a wordsmith, as some people would put it. I just like the painting aesthetic. I like that it's a painting. It looks pretty. I'm going to shut up now and just keep going. We head over to another area.
This is the non-fiction section. It's for books about things that are true, rather than made-up stories.
I rarely visit this section, personally.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of nonfiction either. In a shady corner, unless it's weirdly enough, I like... How should I put this? Look up Mr. Ballin's channel on YouTube, and some of his stories I really enjoy. Some of them I'm like, I'd rather live the rest of my life not knowing this horrible thing that happened in real life. It's sort of one of those channels, you know? In a shady corner near Aspen's favorite table, Juliet taps a small sign hanging on one of the shelves.
This is the mystery section.
Ooh, I do like mysteries.
Stories about detectives, murders, and other such subjects live here.
I honestly like most subjects, though. I can't really think of one that I'm not, a big fan of.
I do admire mystery writers. It's difficult to come up with a compelling one.
Yeah, and one that's actually executed well enough to like, where you like kind of like leaving the bread trail for people to figure out that isn't super obvious, but also not too vague and obscure. Like that balancing act of writing a mystery sounds like a nightmare. We go around the whole library like this, with Juliet and Aspen pointing out all the other sections. Finally, we come back to a stop at the desk where we started.
I do believe that's everything. Do you feel like you have a good understanding now?
Nope, zip
It's
zilla.
hard to keep them all straight. Fantasy, history, cookbooks, biographies.
Okay, I feel like teaching her the few words would be good, so because I'm assuming that they're labeled, but that's just a me idea.
I've got most of it though.
By the end, my head feels like it's spinning. I know that I won't be able to remember everything as hard as I try. But I do feel like I've gotten a better feeling for the place. At the very least, I could show someone where to find the restrooms.
It is a lot to take in. Don't worry if you can't memorize it all right away. There's plenty of time to learn.
Even I forget where things are sometimes, and I've spent more time here than at my own apartment. Thanks. It might take me a while, but I'll get it eventually.
I know you will. I have the utmost confidence in you.
Oh, thanks. If I'm going to do this, I may as well try my best. Maybe something good will come from it, and if not, I can always just leave.
Want me to
That's
show you
the
the books I was thinking of
attitude.
now? Sure.
Yes, please.
I'll be off to bed myself then. Have a lovely day, you two.
Sleep well. Night.
Juliet heads upstairs while Aspen and I go back to the shelves.
To start with,
She leads the way to the fiction section, which is easy to remember since it's the biggest. Aspen runs a finger across the books as we move down an aisle. I see her scanning the titles before she stops and taps the spine of one.
here we are, Wuthering Heights.
Have I read that? Hang on. Ah! I hate showing off. I don't know why I hate... There's nothing, like, on my desktop that's, like, bad. But, like, I hate showing it in videos. Wuthering Heights. Have I read that? What's it about? No, I haven't. I've heard about it a lot, though.
I just returned this one recently after finishing my annual reread.
Maybe I should check it out. If Aspen loves it that much, you know, I gotta try it from a girl.
It's a very tragic love story. The main character is rather terrible, I must confess,
Oh.
and there's an awful lot of death.
When she says terrible, does she mean she's a terrible character, or he's a terrible character, or that they're just, like, a terrible person? I don't know.
But despite all that, it's beautiful.
That description definitely isn't what I was expecting.
People really like to read that stuff? Sometimes, yes. You read to experience all kinds of different feelings. Besides, I think there's a kind of sad beauty to doomed romances like that. It really
Oh.
does put life in perspective.
Is this foreshadowing? Is this foreshadowing? There's gonna be a time when we're getting really close to Aspen or Juliet, and then we're gonna be forced to spend a day apart for whatever reason comes up, and then they're gonna forget us right as we were about to get married or something? Oh gosh.
If you say so. You don't have to take my word for it. I'm sure you'll see for yourself once you start working here. In the meantime,
I follow Aspen to the other side of the room where there are a couple smaller racks of books near the corner.
do you enjoy poetry?
You mean
Yeah.
like vases and stuff? Those are okay.
That's pottery. Poetry is
She clears her throat.
prose. Words in their best order. Poetry, the best words in the best order.
She's such a dork, I love her.
Samuel Coleridge said that. He was a poet, but he's not the one I have in mind.
Oh?
I'll show you what he meant.
The book she selects looks very, very old. It has a green cover that's rough like a lizard's skin, with the letters being faded gold.
Alfred Lord Tennyson is one of the most famous poets to have existed. I simply adore his work. Here, this is from The Lady of Shalott.
Shallot from Dragon Ball Legends. Ha! That's probably a reference that most people who are watching this might not get, because it's like, even for Dragon Ball fans, it's a niche reference. She clears her throat again, even though it's only been a few seconds since the last time.
Willows whiten, aspens shiver. The sunbeam showers break and quiver. In the stream that runneth ever, by the island in the river, flowing down to Camelot.
Camelot, no way! Fate! Oh my gosh! Everything ties back into Fate. That's why it's the biggest thing on my channel and never will not be. Let's go, Camelot, baby! Listen, all I'm gonna say is the most recent part in Fate right now, we're back in Camelot, baby. That's all I'm gonna say. Perfect timing. I barely heard past the first line. I'm sitting here genuinely really enjoying this poem that she's reading, and Miho's just like, I stopped paying attention. She said willows, and my mind was gone. Head empty.
Aspens! I like your name. Does it come from this poem?
If only. Aspens are a type of tree. Mum loves them. More than she likes poetry, for sure. I do wish I'd been named after it, though.
She reads me the rest of it, which ends up being pretty long. It's kind of hard to follow, but imagining the fields and towers that she talks about is nice. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've been to Camelot before. Some of the details in the poem aren't quite right. Anyway, she's the next character added to Fate Grand Order. Anyway, even if I don't really understand the poem, it's nice to listen to Aspen reading it. Plus, there's no way I'll forget what the book looks like.
Alright, last one. I thought 3 would be enough to start, but you can always ask me for more recommendations if you need. I could suggest books until lunch, if I didn't stop myself.
I might someday. Even though I lived in the library for a few days now, I never really knew how many different books there were out there before.
Oh, believe me, this library isn't even a fraction of what exists. It's not that big for a library, in fact.
Yeah, it's
just
a pretty small
huge
library.
for a personal collection, which is really what it is.
How many books have you read?
I couldn't even guess. Definitely hundreds. Maybe thousands? I've never tried counting, but perhaps I should now that you mention it. It would be nice to look back on someday. Okay, here we are.
The book she takes me to is laid out flat on an end table where more people can see it rather than on the shelf.
Everyone knows the story of Peter Pan, the boy who never grows up and can fly. Everyone except me.
Nice! Not even the Disney movie? Come on, Miho.
Now you do too. Peter has a darling fairy friend named Tinkerbell, and he fights the dastardly pirate Captain Hook. Peter leads a group of boys called the Lost Boys, and they cause all sorts of trouble for Neverland, where they all live.
What do you mean he never grows up?
In Neverland, you never get older. So he stays a young boy for his whole life. Even when the girl he loves, Wendy, grows up and gets married, and someday dies.
You sure do like sad stories, huh?
I suppose I do. It's as Peter Pan himself says. To die would be an awfully big adventure. Still, it's not like I only like sad things. Romance is my favorite genre, and not just the tragic kind.
That's good to hear. I sit down on one of the chairs since it seems like Aspen wants to have a conversation. May as well get comfy. Aspen sits down too, fidgeting with the straps of her purse.
Why is it your favorite?
Why? Well,
Her hands stop moving while she thinks.
In a book, things can be much more perfect than in real life. A moonlit balcony all alone, or a sunset kiss on the seashore. Real life is considerably messier.
Yeah, romance is fun because it's that thing that, you sit down, have a great time with, if it's a good one, obviously. But then it also gives you horrendously unreal expectations of actual people that will never be met. It's a great time. I love it.
I've never been in love before, although I think it sounds quite nice. As I said earlier, people read to feel things. So until that time, living vicariously through other stories is enough.
Based Aspen.
What about you?
What about me?
Do you ever hope to fall in love? I assume you haven't been in love before, but maybe I'm wrong.
Nah, I haven't. I like being on my own.
Do you think maybe that would change if you met the right person?
I know, the way you're looking away, it's sending some kind of signals, I feel.
I don't know. Maybe. I haven't thought about it much. Since everyone forgets me, there's never been a reason for me to care.
I suppose that's
Yeah.
reasonable. Still, that must be... Well, it doesn't matter. Do you ever watch movies? Or TV? Just about everything has a love story in it nowadays, not just books.
Nah, not in a long time.
How long?
She sure asks a lot of questions, and they jump around topics so much too. I don't really mind, but I have to try hard to even remember the answers. All the places I've seen and days I've spent have mostly blurred together in my head.
I'm not sure. A few years? There was a really big crowd around a window, so I wanted to see what they were all looking at.
And? What was it?
I don't know what it was. I didn't speak the language there yet, and I didn't memorize the sounds.
So she hasn't watched a movie she could actually understand in forever. Also, why?
But on TV, there were these people in white suits bouncing around, and the people watching seemed really excited by it.
People bouncing around in white suits? Also, for some reason, this game requires me to, like, click a lot. And I don't know why. That's, like, the only issue I've had with this game is, like, sometimes it requires me to click multiple times. And that's not just, like, my mouse having an issue, like... Because the rest of my computer... Like, I work on my computer all day for my job and other activities, and it never has those issues with that. It's just... I don't know if I need to click on the boxes specifically or click somewhere else multiple times or what, but I don't know.
Did
Aspen
the
gasped.
people on TV, do you remember by chance if the place they were hopping around looked like a desert, all rocky and empty?
Is this a reference I'm not getting?
Now that you mention it, yeah. How did you know?
She dashes a hand to her forehead in disbelief. That's the side of her face, but you know it works.
That was the moon landing.
Oh gosh. Oh, it's been so long.
No, I'm pretty sure I'd remember if the moon landed.
S-tier response, mijo.
Not like that, silly. It was when humans went to the moon for the first time.
Wait, they did?
Yes, and you saw it happen, apparently.
They must have had help from the Fableds magic, right?
No, not this time. It was pure human ingenuity.
Wait, we still haven't figured out what Aspen is. Is she a I'm assuming she has to be a fabled, right?
Whoa.
You look surprised.
I am. I didn't know humans could do something like that.
I mean, you go on planes like all the time.
Well,
It's
not
only like a
just
step from
any
that.
human. It took a lot of work from a lot of people. It still does to this day. I can't believe you got to watch it live, though. What was it like?
Had a really good lunch that day. Everyone was so distracted that I was able to sneak into a restaurant that usually would have caught me.
The vocal performances in this just make every line like so great. She shakes her head.
That's all you can remember.
It was some kind of pasta dish with white sauce and lots of cheese.
I meant about... Oh, never mind. Anyway, I was just going to suggest asking Juliet about putting a TV in your room.
Oh my gosh, they're taking so much good care of, like, such good care of me. Gosh, I can't speak. They're taking such good care of me. Oh my gosh.
Surely there's one in this place somewhere. It would give you something to do, at least. And you don't have to be able to read to enjoy the story of a good show or movie.
Unless it's subbed, you never know.
I might. I definitely need something to do other than walk around town all day.
Let me know if you do. I'll bring over some movies for you to borrow.
Oh my gosh, we just have a girls' night and I'll just like hang out in our room at the edge of our bed watching TV. That'd be amazing.
If I can't recommend books to you, at least I can do that.
Bruh, listen, audiobooks exist, you know?
Will do. Don't know where else I'd start anyway.
Miho's just gotta get hit up with that Audible sponsorship, you know what I'm saying? After checking her phone, Aspen stands back up.
I'll be more than happy whenever you ask. For now, not to be rude, but I'm going to go write for a little while. I'm working on the last couple chapters of this book before I'm finished, and I want to be done with it as fast as I can.
I want to learn how to read so that we can read her book. That would be so good.
Oh, sure. Good luck.
To tell the truth, I'm always a bit relieved when someone else ends the conversation for me. I never know how to do it myself. See, I'm just awkward and I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna leave, and then I do. It's a great time. I wave goodbye as Aspen goes off to her table by the window, pen in hand. Within moments, she's hunched over her notebook writing. Not on a laptop or something? Weird. You know, that was very judgmental of me and very snoobish of me to be like, you're not writing on like a computer or like your phone or like whatever. Like, weird. Listen. I think it just goes back to me being in high school where I had to take so many notes in AP World History where my hands can't literally handle writing anymore without getting cramped up within like 5 minutes. So the idea of doing that genuinely sounds like a nightmare. I wave goodbye as that... Oh. I thought I had clicked. I'm kind of curious... Hang on. Can I... No, I want to pause it. Is there a way that I can... Let's just go ahead and save here. I just want to see what happens if I click on one of these. Like, I'd intended to take a walk through the botanical garden, but my usual route is being blocked by a small wedding ceremony. I didn't know a place like this would rent out space for weddings, but I guess it makes sense. Lots of good scenery for wedding photos. Weddings, huh? If I got married here, what would be the best flower to kiss the bride in front of be? Wait, what? Maybe like one that smells really good, so that I'm making pleasant face if anyone takes a photo. Not that I think any of that will ever happen, but you know, it doesn't hurt to imagine. Okay, hang on. So I want to go back now. Escape. Load here. I just wanted to see like if anything would happen or if Miho would just show up and be like, haha, this place exists, going home. I can't go to the den? That's weird. But I don't know why I would necessarily go anywhere that doesn't have a person there. You know? Why would I go anywhere that doesn't have a person at it? I don't know. Since I don't have anything better to do, I decide to head back to the park to see Lena. Aspen told me where and when I could find her, although we both know that Lena won't have any idea who I am. Making sure that I see Aspen and Juliet every day is hard enough as it is. Although I like Lena, I don't think I could put in the effort to have her remember me too. Maybe if she started coming by the library in the morning like Aspen does, although I'm pretty sure that's the last thing Aspen would ever want to happen. I go back to the park where we played tennis and wander around searching for Lena. It takes a bit longer since I'm not looking for something as obvious as a tennis court, but I finally find her in a group of people near some trees. All of them, including her, have shovels in their hands and are working on digging holes. Finally, something I'm good at. Although compared to tennis, it looks more like a punishment than a hobby. I walk over to Lena, who's barely made a dent in the ground. She waves when she sees me, but not in a familiar way.
Hi there! Here to volunteer?
Maybe? Volunteer for what?
To save the planet, duh! What does it look like we're doing?
Digging in the dirt?
Exactly! We're planting new trees to, help beautify the city of Wellington by promoting natural resources. I think.
Well put, Lena. I understand now. I like Lena a lot. She's great. She says the second part like she's reading off a label or a sign.
If you want to help out, go talk to Cyrus. He'll get you all set up.
Lena points over at someone that I sort of recognize. The dryad that Lena was watching when we played tennis. Yo, she's trying to riz him up so hard. I dig his horns and his vine vein? Question mark? Since I'm here, I may as well give it a shot, so I follow her instructions and walk over.
to help out.
Welcome aboard. I'm Cyrus. Here's a sapling and a shovel.
He sounds so happy. Oh my gosh. Cyrus holds out a shovel in one hand and a small bucket with a tree in the other. I take them, doing my best not to drop the sapling.
Okay. I'm Miho. What do we do now?
First you dig, then you plant. Then you do that over and over until you get bored and go home.
Wow, he's just happy to be alive.
That sounds easy enough.
Everyone says that at first. Good luck.
Oh. He starts to walk away, but then pauses.
Hey, quick question. Are you friends with that girl over there? The one with the wings?
Lena? Sort of.
Can you let me know if she... Actually, never mind. Forget it. Let me know if you need any help.
He wants to get with her too? Oh my gosh, they just need to get over it and talk to each other. Jeez. This time he really does leave, walking around to check the progress everyone is making. Now that I'm all set up, I take the things he gave me and go back to where Lena is.
Good to go? Since you're new too, let's have a race. We can see who plants more trees by the end.
Before I can respond or even think about it, Lena starts furiously hacking at the ground. Dirt flies like when I was building my den. I watch her for a second and then start on my own. I really don't want to compete with Lena, so I go at my own pace. It's a little awkward. I could do this for a few seconds as a fox, but using a shovel feels strange and inefficient. Muscles I didn't even know I have start to feel sore. Only a few minutes later, Lena sprawls on the ground in exhaustion. She's only halfway done at best.
I didn't think it'd be so hard to dig a hole.
While she's laying there, Cyrus comes round on one of his inspections. He stops and examines both of our handiwork.
Nice job, Miho. You're a natural. Lena, good effort.
You know what? Screw it. I dig Cyrus. He's a vibe. Lena leaps to her feet, using her wings to propel herself into a standing position.
I wasn't taking a break.
Oh, I didn't read the last part.
I was, testing the ground to see if it might be softer over here. Look, this one will be even better.
Before our eyes, Lena starts to attack the ground again, even faster than when she started racing me. Dirt sails over her head as she tosses it away from herself, with some of it falling onto Cyrus's head. He looks strangely resigned.
Just don't hurt yourself, okay? I don't want to have to carry someone to the hospital again.
Again? Well, digging tree holes? Oh my gosh.
Harry? I mean, again?
Lena asks questions without stopping her work.
It's a long story. Anyway, just be careful.
As he begins to leave, Cyrus puts a hand on my shoulder. I tense up but manage to not shake it off.
Keep an eye on her, would you?
I nod and Cyrus walks away. As soon as he's out of earshot, Lena comes to a halt.
Miho, right? I need you to break my arm.
I need that man to carry me.
You... what?
Yeah, maybe that's a bit much. Maybe just a finger would be enough.
Why would you want to do that?
Oh, you're right! A broken leg would make more sense.
I'm not entirely sure we're having the same conversation. I decided to try a different approach.
So, are you and Cyrus friends or something?
Friends? Kind of. Unfortunately.
I want to be so much more. I want that dryad to carry me all the way to the hospital. Oh, so romantic.
You don't want to be friends?
Girl, take a hint. She wants more. She wants that dryad dit.
I want to be more than that.
For the first time ever, Lena looks around after speaking, like she's worried someone might have heard her.
Like... best friends?
More than that. Like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Oh...
That explains why I didn't understand.
how's that going?
Swimmingly. She sighs and her wings droop.
Well, you just saw pretty much. I know Cyrus from ballet, but I quit ballet, so I only get to see him at other stuff like this. but he's always trying something new every week, so I do too. But it's kind of hard to talk to him, especially when he's so busy. When I heard he was gonna come plant trees, I had no idea he'd be in charge. So I can't let him think I'm a slacker or bad at tennis. Not when he already thinks I'm a quitter.
I think I get it.
The one thing I know for sure is that it sounds complicated. Good luck, Lena. The two of us go back to shoveling dirt, and eventually we go deep enough that we can plant the sapling Cyrus gave us. I carefully set mine in the ground and then cover it back up the same way I've seen other people doing. When it's time to wrap up, Cyrus makes one last trip around, collecting shovels and handing out water bottles. When he reaches us, he nods approvingly.
Good work, both of you.
Thanks.
I gulp down the water he gives me in a few swigs.
Yeah, thanks.
On the other hand, Lena still seems a little dejected. She doesn't even try to talk to Cyrus before he leaves. When the two of us part ways, she gives me a half-hearted wave.
See you later.
Yeah, bye.
I'm not even sure what she'll be doing next time, much less when or where. Maybe Aspen will tell me about it again. Digging holes wasn't exactly something I'd want to do a second time, but planting a tree was satisfying, and I'm kind of curious to see how things with Lena and Cyrus go, if they go at all. Lena's kind of a lot, as Aspen says, but she's nice. I hope everything works out for her at least. I think a character like Lena is like a great thing for the story, because like having relations with Miho in this game would be really complicated when no one remembers her. But Lena's just like the type of person who's just like, oh, new person, we're like besties now. We're gonna be like best friends. We're gonna hang out all day. We're gonna do whatever. And like that's like a great character to have in like this type of scenario, I think. Looking around, I notice that I'm the only one left. So I toss my empty bottle in a recycling bin and start making my way back. At least Miho knows how to recycle. Okay, so I have two things. I forgot what the exclamation point means, and I forgot what the book means. I don't remember. But anyways, I think that will be all for this one. In the next one, we'll pick up with probably the waterfront, just because we did the little kid story last time. So I'm probably just going to switch back and forth between them. I'm probably going to do Lena every time just because I like her more than the little boy and his parents, and then the older dude. I forgot his name, not going to lie. But yeah, with that all being said, I'll see all you beautiful people in the next one. Bye-bye!